Hey, what's up guys? Got another World of Tanks video here today. This one is going to be a review on the Tier 5 American Premium Heavy Tank, as you guys can see right here, and that is the T14. So this is the collision model. This is how it actually looks like. Well, let me see. Oops, let's go back. There we go. So this is how the tank looks like. Here's the T14, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about the armor, guys. So back to collision model. So as you can see, this is the armor of the T14, and the front plate, the front side and the rear all are 50 millimeters. You guys see right there. You guys see right there the armor values. I'm not looking at the effective armor. We're looking at, just the armor. And as you can see, the armor thickness 50 millimeters on the side, 50, and we turn the tank around, also 50 right here in the back. So for a Tier 5 tank, I would say it's pretty well armored. I mean, it's 50 millimeters all around, and since it has 50 millimeters in the front and 50 on the side, means that you could pretty much angle it, 45 degrees, guys. You could angle it, as effective as well. As you can see right here, the effective armor, depends how much you angle it. You don't want to over angle. I'd say something like this would be kind of decent. As you can see, look how high the effective armor gets at this type of angle. So that's the whole armor. You guys can see from this angle, this is the main weak spot right here. It's a little machine gun port right here. So you can see it's 63 millimeters thick, but there's no sloping to it or anything. So that's the main weak spot from the front. At this angle, I say this is a pretty good angle. So you can see it's pretty much about an 80 through about 90 millimeters of armor. So let's just say about 85 millimeters thick. That's effectively what the armor is here in the front plate. But then you have this lower plate. It's kind of like the mid plate. It's not even the lower one. It's between the lower plate and the front plate. So you got this mid plate, and this one's 63 millimeters thick. And as you can see, it's a little bit stronger than the upper plate. It goes from 91 to 95. Let's just go ahead and say it's 93. You know what I'm saying? It's just meet it at the middle. So still, not bad. Now we go on to the lower plate. It's the strongest. As you can see, 101 millimeters thick, so it's a lot stronger. As you can see, the armor, effective armor values, vary depending, I guess, how you shoot it. But I would really just kind of, stay away from shooting the lower plate and mostly focus on just this main plate, the front plate, instead of the lower plate. As you can see, lower plate, I'd say it gets to be about as strong as 135 millimeters, which is more than enough for Tier 5 tanks. But once you get to Tier 6, they're going to chew you up. But I mean, it's still a very strong lower plate, and Tier 5s will have trouble with this lower plate for sure. Now for the for the front plate, are Tier 5s going to have trouble? I'm going to go ahead and say yeah, they will, because depending on how you angle it, you can make it really effective. I've had games where the armor bounced off a lot of shots and whatnot, and I have had other games where people just go through the armor pretty easily. But the thing is, you don't want to make it easy for them. You want to angle your armor. The armor's already sloped, so why not add more effectiveness to it by, angling it even more. Angle it as good as you can, and you'll kind of see them bounce, then pan, bounce, then pan. It'll go kind of back and forth, depending, where they're shooting you at. But yeah, guys, I would say the armor is pretty effective, for Tier 5. It's pretty damn effective. All you gotta do is just angle. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the whole armor. Also, you do have this spaced armor on the side, so you got to be careful with these tanks. That's what makes this tank pretty well rounded with its armor, as it's armored everywhere. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the turret. And as you can see, the turret is also no joke here. We look at the stats here: 101 millimeters all around, guys. So this is a very strong turret at Tier 5. And also, you can go hold down on this and be very effective. Look at the armor zones right here. Look at that, 302 millimeters. No one's gonna be able to pen you at this bottom this little bottom part right here, pretty much on the turret. But as you can see, it does get a little weaker. It kind of depends, the angle you shoot it and whatnot. The manlet looks to be pretty effective. It just kind of depends where you shoot it at. I guess this topper part, this top part right here looks about 125, but this lower part right here is very strong. Then you got the sides right here. You got this spaced armor and whatnot. It does get kind of weak here, but then it gets strong again. To be honest, guys, I really wouldn't mess with the turret unless you want to shoot this cupola. And as you can see, the cupola is 76 millimeters thick. That's still actually not too bad. So Pola's about, I'd say, 110 millimeters effectively, but look how high it could get. It just all depends on the angle, guys. All depends on the angle. But let's just say the cupola is still pretty strong, and if you're in a tier 4 tank, you're gonna have problems with it still, I think, unless you load gold and place well aimed shots. But yeah, overall the turret is really strong, guys. As you can see, I mean, tier 5 turret, I say it's really strong, and since you could use it to hold down, you have that great American gun depression. I think it has a 10 degrees, and yeah, that's pretty good, guys. So I think that's really all I got to say about the armor, guys. The armor, I would say above average, for tier 5. KV1 has also really good armor. If I would compare this armor to KV1, KV1 is just a lot more, it's a little bit more thicker, but it has less sloping. But I'd still say the KV1's armor is a little bit more effective. But this armor is really good, and also there's not too much people playing with T14, so a lot of people are not going to know where to shoot you guys. So that's a big plus also. Let's go ahead and just run through the stats here real quick. Here are the stats, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take this review to the garage now. As you can see right there, gun elevation, gun depression, 10 degrees gun depression, guys. That's just excellent. It's just pretty darn good. So yeah, guys, I think I went over the armor pretty decently. Like I said, the weak spot is going to be this machine gun port, and for the turret, it's going to be the cupola. But I mean, even the front armor, if they're like standing flat like this, I mean, it gets pretty weak. Look at that, pretty much about 80 millimeters, guys. So some tier 4s will have problems with it maybe, but tier 4 TDs and higher should be able to pen this. But it all depends on the angle, guys. If you're really angled, you're like this, and they don't think about shooting your side, then people are gonna start having problems with the armor. So it's all about the angling, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and rate the armor 8 out of 10, guys. I'd say it's pretty darn good. And yeah, not much else to say about the armor, guys. So I'm gonna take this review to my garage, where I will show you my T14 and talk more in depth about the tank and how it plays and whatnot. Alright, guys, I'll see you there. Hey guys, so as you can see, back in the garage, and yeah, here's my T14, if you guys can see. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So we got 690 hit points. That's pretty healthy for a tier 5 tank, guys. Most tanks have about 600 or less. I think about, depends on what type of tank you're using, but most heavy tanks about 600 through, I would say 650. But these premium tanks, they give them a little bit more HP, guys. But yeah, that's a really healthy amount of hit points. So that's a big plus for this tank. Next, you got the weight and load limit. Well, no one really cares about that, but yeah, that's about 50 tons almost. Engine power, now this is where, this is something really good about the tank. As you can see, the specific power ratio right there is 14.92, which means this thing accelerates pretty quickly, guys, because it has a really big engine and the tank doesn't weigh too much. 720 engine power, that's a lot of engine power. So this thing, it's pretty fast for a heavy tank, guys. It accelerates really quickly to its top speed of 34. I mean, that's not really super fast, but it accelerates pretty quickly, guys, which kind of gives this tank kind of like a medium heavy type of feel. So good engine power on this tank. And obviously, like I said before, top speed's going to be 34, which is healthy and pretty average for a heavy tank, especially at tier 5. Traverse speed, this is where it's not too good, even though it has that extra speed and the extra horses in the engine. 20 traverse speed is not too good. And if we compare that to, let's go ahead and just pick T1 heavy right here. T1 heavy actually turns faster, and that thing's way bigger. So as you can see, this tank does turn pretty slow, and yeah, it's one of its weaknesses, guys. So just gotta say that. Whole armor and turret armor, we already went over the armor in detail, guys, and yeah, you guys already heard me talk about it earlier in the review. So next, standard shell damage, standard shell penetration. So this is the gun you get. Remember, guys, this is a premium tank. There is no upgrades. This is the gun you get. 75mm gun. DPM is not too bad. We actually look here on the side. Actual gun reload for me is 3.21, which I would say is really healthy DPM. The thing is, the gun has really crappy pan, guys. 92 pan. That's that's gonna be enough for most, or not most, but I'd say about half and half for tier 5, guys. When you get to the tier 5 heavy tanks, you should be able to pan most of them, but there's some that you just can't pen, and you're gonna have to load gold. And if you're at tier 6, which this tank, guys, it gets preferential matchmaking, so which means you can't see any tier 7s. And as you can see, actually here below with my mod, you can see it says 5 through 6. Those are the tiers, in the highest tiers they could see. And yeah, at tier 6, this tank is not going to do too good. Why? Because the pen's going to let it down, guys. You're not going to be able to pen much tanks. 127 pen, you might be able to make that work a little bit, but it's not too much pen, and there's going to be some tanks you just can't pen. So that is a problem with this gun. It's a premium tank, guys, so don't expect it to have a really powerful gun. But it's a good money maker type of gun, because at tier 5 you should be able to pen most of your targets, but once you're at tier 6, it's going to be really hard to pen targets. But these are the gun specs. 92 pen, it's just not good enough, but I guess it will do, guys. It will do. And 127 pen for APCR, that's going to be enough for tier 5. For tier 6, like I'm saying, you're going to have some tanks you just can't pen. Some of those tier 6 heavy tanks are going to be a little bit too heavily armored. But the gun damage, average damage is 110, with the regular AP or APCR. For HE, I forgot to mention, is 38 pen, but you're not going to be spamming HE shells with this thing much. But yeah, 110 damage with AP and APCR. Like I said, that's a pretty healthy amount of damage. Not too low, not too high, so it's healthy. The accuracy, guys, is another part where this gun really lacks. 0.46 accuracy. It's pretty shitty accuracy, guys. So yeah, you got to be really close to your targets. You got to make sure you're fully aimed a lot, because this thing is not a sniper. It doesn't have a sniper gun. You have to be close up at your targets. The good thing is the aim time is not bad, 2.1, so you're gonna have time to aim, and should be able to aim perfectly and hopefully land that target, or land that shot on your target, because 0.46 accuracy is just pretty bad, but you can live with it. You just gotta upgrade your tank, get that ventilation, brothers in arms, and handgun lane drive. Well, not handgun lane drive, but just those two other ones, just to improve the tank a little bit. But yeah, good aim time, guys. Weight, no one cares about the weight. Alright, so that's all I gotta say about the gun, guys. It's not really a good gun, but you can make it work, especially with gold rounds. Alright, next, let's see, turret traverse speed. So we already went over the turret armor, but turret traverse speed is 26. Also, the view range is 330, which is next here on the list. But yeah, 26 degrees of turret traverse. We look at the T1 heavy, it actually has more than that also. So the turret does not turn too quickly either, but it's not super slow, but you just gotta get used to it. Next, like I'm saying, view range 330, pretty basic, pretty standard for most tier 5 tanks. So yeah, I'd say that's alright. Signal range, no one really cares about it, but it's 570, and well, it's alright, I guess. Next, let's talk about the equipment. When you want to load in this tank, obviously this is my preference, but you can have your own preference, but I really highly recommend gun rammer for that better DPM, then ventilation to overall improve the tank by 5%, just make the tank overall better. And the third slot, you can pick whatever you want. I just use toolbox. I don't want to buy anything else for the tank. I mean, maybe I could get maybe a heavy spawn liner, maybe, but to help with the HE shells and stuff like that, protect the crew a little bit more. But not a lot of people shoot HE, so to me, I think toolbox is pretty safe pick, because it's a heavy tank. You want those tracks to get repaired, if you get tracked. Coated optics, this tank has crappy view range, so I don't know if you want to put that on there, but it's your guys' choice. I would really just recommend spawn liner, toolbox, and maybe even enhanced gun lane drive if you really want that gun performance, just to aim a little bit quicker. And yeah, that's all I got to say about equipment. Now for the crew, so you can see I have my T1 heavy crew on here. I have mentor just to overall make the tanks, or make my crew level up quicker, get more EXP and stuff. Then I got repairs. So yeah, you just want to put the basic heavy tank skills. For gunner, I would recommend snapshot. That would really help out. And yeah, that's the second skill I'll recommend. For the driver, I would recommend clutch braking, guys, just so you could turn a little bit quicker. So that's going to be needed for that mobility. Radio operator, really quick, it's This one right here, situational awareness, get that extended view range. And for the loader skills are not too good, so just pick whatever you want there. Alright guys, so that's all I got to say about the crew. So now let's talk about how the tank plays. So I don't know how long this part of the video is now, but yeah, how the tank plays. So pretty much it's a heavy tank, but it does have some speed, guys. You can almost consider it a medium heavy because it does accelerate really quickly, and you know, you're gonna think the tank's kind of fast in the beginning compared to, you know, a regular heavy tank. But yeah, the tank's pretty fast, but just play it kind of like a normal tank. It has really good side armor for the tier 50 side armor. You could make that work. Use side scraping skills, guys, and always angle when you can. You know, if you're playing against just someone one-on-one, angle your tank really good so you know they won't be able to hit this weak spot right here, the machine gun port, and hopefully, you know, bounce off that sloped armor. Maybe if they hit this lower spot right here on the armor, they're gonna have problems with that. You know, near the lower plate, they're gonna have some problems with that. If they hit the turret, they're gonna have problems with that. What you really want to avoid is them not shooting the cupola and the machine gun port. But also, like I'm saying, guys, even though the armor is sloped, it's not really that thick. It's only 50 millimeters, but that's why we have to angle, and hopefully they bounce. So just always angle. Pretty much play like a normal heavy tank that has good front and side armor. Also, the turret, guys. This thing has a great turret, 101 millimeters all around, really thick turret for the tier. And since this tank has 10 degrees of gun depression, as I mentioned earlier in the stats, which means you could go hold down with this thing, guys. This thing at tier 4 against tier 4s, you know, maybe if there's like 1 or 2 tier 5 tanks and the rest are all tier 4s and 3s, man, this thing is gonna dominate, guys. Tier 3s, just forget about it, guys. Tier 3s, this thing will destroy tier 3s like nothing, as it should. I mean, it's a tier 5 tank, and yeah, it will destroy tier 3s easily. It will more than likely destroy tier 4s easily too. Tier 5 tanks will start bringing a little bit of competition, but you know, it could still put in some damage, especially with that fast shooting gun. But remember, the fast shooting gun has crappy pen, so might have to load some APCR there. But yeah, guys, always, sorry about that, guys, Bandicam cut off, so that means I've been talking for about 10 minutes already. Let me wrap it up. So yeah, always go hold down with this tank if possible. You know, especially, you know, during hill battles and stuff, you're gonna notice the turret's pretty strong. It's very sloped and stuff. I mean, just look at it from the side. Also, guys, don't forget the spaced armor on your hull too, or on your hull also. So yeah, the turret is one of the main strengths of this tank, but don't forget the overall tank is really well armored because it's sloped. And just look at the shape of it. It's just like sloped everywhere. It has nice sloping, even though it's not too thick. So yeah, guys, just make use of the turret whenever you can. Just play like normal heavy tank. Besides, or other than that, you know, other than that, just play as a normal heavy tank. But if you can, go hold down with this thing. You're gonna see people bouncing. Even some tier 6 tanks will bounce off it. But remember, guys, at tier 6, you're not gonna be too competitive with this gun. Even if you load gold, if you load gold, 127 pen is, you know, not too good. 127 pen with this gun, it's not gonna be too good for the higher tier 6 heavy tanks. But you know, it's a tier 5 tank, tier 5 premium tank. So, like I said, the gun's not supposed to be that good. So yeah, guys, I think I covered all I really got to say about this tank. I already have a gameplay video made, so you guys could watch that right after this. It's going to be on the same video. So yeah, guys, I think I covered the tank pretty well. Like I said, overall, the tank's pretty good. I'll go ahead and rate it 9 out of 10. Why? Because you could do good with it because it has good armor, has a fast shooting gun, and you know, good money maker. So I'd say it's a pretty good little tank, guys. And what I buy it you know, from the whatever you want to call it, the cash shop or whatever. I haven't bought no tanks in a while, but yeah, I would definitely buy it. If you guys see it there and it's cheap, I would buy it. It's a good little tank. I think they took it off the cash shop now, so you can't buy it anymore for now, I think. But yeah, it's a good little tank, guys. Yeah, I think I pretty much said all I really got to say, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the review part of the video. Now I'm gonna go ahead and run that gameplay. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you now on the gameplay part of the video. Hey guys, so as you can see right here, I'm in the gameplay part of the video. Here's my tank, and yeah, here we go. So really good matchmaking. Look at that, barely any tier 5s. a lot of tier 4s, tier 3s, tanks that this tank will pretty much destroy pretty easily. Yeah, so pretty much top tier, so really good matchmaking here. And yeah, here's the the tanks I'm playing against and all that, so you guys can see that. You guys can pause that. Alright, so here I'm just getting to a position, I'm pushing this side. Let me skip a little forward here. I marked the map over there on D9 because there was a shit ton of tanks over there. So as you can see, I'm pretty much just pushing forward, don't see anything yet. Skip a little bit more. So you can see I spotted a tank. SARL 42. So pretty much just requesting fire on him, see if we could shoot him. There was also a Churchill over there, but no shot in him. So as you can see right here, I'm using auto aim here, so that's why I was kind of lagging to shoot there. And finish him off. So quick, easy kill there. Nothing to it, very easy kill, pretty much. Like I'm saying, this thing will dominate tier 4 tanks on the work very easily. And got an ammo rack shot right there on the RD. That was pretty sweet. You guys can see my WN8 right there on the top left too, so you guys can see I guess how good I'm doing in this match. So as you can see, there's a stug. As you can see, I bounced the shot. You guys saw that? This guy tracks me. Pen him right there again. I'm just using auto aim here, so as you can see, I actually bounce off his mantlet. Then I kill him. Like I'm saying, that was a really easy kill there, and the stug is a tier 4 tank. Yeah, so you can see this thing just steamrolls tier 4 tanks. But you guys saw how I was angling there. You didn't? Let me back this up real quick. You guys can see how I angle towards tank. Come on. You can see how well here I'm very angled, but look how I'm always angling. You see how I'm always angling, guys? That's what you want to do in this tank. Stay angled at all times, and most of the time you will bounce a lot of shots. But if you're playing against a really experienced player, he's still going to be able to find those weak spots. So just take note of that. So as you can see, I'm pretty much just capping, getting people to come. That PZ1C over there is going to go spot. Let me skip a little bit. So there we go. So as you can see, there's some targets over here for me. Looking for targets. Looking for those targets. That PZ1C is also approaching us right there, the enemy one. So I was trying to focus on him, but I just stopped focusing on him. Why? Because he can't really hurt me. So now I'm going for the T14. I'm bouncing off him. As you can see, the pen, like I'm saying, is not too good. And I actually get ammo racked here. And I fixed my ammo rack, and it's because of that damn Chi-Ha, bro. Just shot a random snapshot. Got him right there, though. You can see the DPM is really good. Look how fast the gun reloads. Trying to get more shots into him. Notice he's not really worth it. He's dead now, and there we go. Now I'm just auto aiming here on the PZ1C here. Just easy auto aims. Very easily done. So as you can see, game's pretty much over. I'm pretty much just dominated really easily. It didn't take much damage at all. Their team really just died really quick. Skip a little bit more. Oh, you guys actually missed that. Did I kill that tank over there? I think. Let me see if it's gonna show it. Anyways, there he is, Martyr 2. I'm just moving forward. Look how I'm already angled already. You see how I'm angled moving up towards him already? Just fully aim there, get a nice clean shot, easy kill. Martyr 2 is what tier is that? Tier 3? Martyr 2. Yep, tier 3 TD. Even a tier 3 TD won't do anything. Tier 4 TDs, they have a little bit better guns, but still, most of them don't got good armor, and you can just run through them, guys. So now I'm just going, over there trying to get that last kill, but I'm not gonna be able to make it, guys. So that guy should be dying right now. There we go. So yeah, guys, you guys see the gameplay. This tank really dominates when it's top tier. Really good tank. As you can see, the armor, even though I wasn't getting shot by really higher tiers, the armor works very effective against lower tiers, as you guys saw. The only tank that hurt me was that Chi-Ha, and it was because I was showing my side, and he even loaded a gold round just to make sure he actually pens me. So plus, I think the Chi-Ha actually has a decent gun. I think it's a tier 4. So yeah, guys, that's the only thing that really hurt me in this game. This is pretty much an easy, perfect game. Yeah, I have screenshots after for the results of it. But it wasn't anything too impressive. But yeah, guys, just kind of showing you some gameplay. I don't want to just keep playing a shit ton of games to get those perfect games for you guys, because that's gonna take too much of my time. So yeah, guys, I thought this really just showcased how fast the tank is. The tank, as you can see, is very maneuverable, very quick, As you can see, how I'm kind of showing you how I angle to bounce shots, and yeah, you can see the armor works very well at the lower tiers. So if you're a top tier with this tank, and there's not too much tier 5 TDs, you should do alright. But just remember, you can't pen. Sometimes you're gonna bounce against some tanks at tier 5, guys. As you saw, I bounced with that T34, and T34 doesn't have that much armor, also, you know, but it does have sloped armor. But yeah, guys. Yeah, this is the gameplay video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys enjoyed the review portion of the video. Yeah, if you guys want me to review any other tank, I have a lot of tanks, just let me know and I'll do a review for you guys. Yeah, so after this, the results are going to be shown, and that's going to be it, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the review video, and yeah, stay tuned. I got more World of Tanks videos coming soon, more reviews. And yeah, catch you guys on the next video.